Hello. Welcome to Mystic Moons. Thank you for joining me. We're going to take a psychic journey into time, through space, and we're going to take an in-depth temperature reading of our country, the USA. And the question is, to all who care to join, is the United States going to have civil war this spring? There's been a lot of talk. The words are not uncommon. The words are spoken at least weekly. And it's been spoken for a long time. Civil war. What does that mean? The last time we had civil war was a couple hundred years ago. Are we fated to have another division, another another unsolvable, or just differences are so great? Each side is pitted against the other. This is not a united country. On the surface, yes, we speak English. We have normal working hours, 8-hour shifts when we can get it. However, there's such a divide. There's such a divide between those who have and those who don't. What's going to happen with the Trump tariffs? We know that nothing is an immediate cure. All that that's been accumulated in the last 4 years plus. All the freebies given to people who hadn't earned them. Maybe that's rash to say. But however, we've been giving away a lot, and we've been scanning, scheming, and whatnots. We as a country have. Not we individually, you and I, no. We're simply talking about what has been done in our name. Now, as we've noted, the tariffs are in place. 25% off here, 25% off here, 50% if you do double cross anyone and try to get a little profiteering on the side. Which, of course, given the history of our tax dollars, we know that there are things on the side. But the question is, dear ones, dear seekers of light, of knowledge, of preparation, will the United States erupt into civil war now that the winter is over, the ice and the snow and the cold? Now that it's getting warmer, we don't need to be bundled up so much. We can be outside. And what's going to happen too once this the cuts to the taxpayers, the cuts to the people who do not have a job, who do not have a home, who do not feel they belong in any particular place except to stand in line, the needy line, which is really, there's no cure for the needs of the people unless the government decides to raise the standards of the people. And just going around with a red hat and taking a fist and doing some sort of dance. I mean, these are billionaires, and most of the people barely make $30,000 a year, if that. $20 an hour doesn't go anywhere. We all know that. Food, you're lucky to go into a supermarket for $20. How much do you get? A loaf of bread and a jar of nut butter? Maybe some bologna. Yes, bologna. And all talk until it goes through the hands of the people, it reaches the stomachs of the people, is bologna. Sorry to say that. How are you? Do you think this country is geared, is being channeled into civil war? Personally, I believe in love, peace, and harmony. But I'm just asking the spirits, should I be prepared for something more? Should you be prepared for something more? Hello, how are you? Welcome. Help, hello. Yes. Should we be prepared for all the people who live in the cities have like 9 billion, 18 billion, no, billion, million people living. Now, can you imagine of those 9 million people, let's say a city, a normal American city has 9 million people in it, a larger city, of course. If half of those people or a quarter of those people did not have food and there was no food available, how long would the peace already chains, franchises have closed down. You can't go into any store in any so-called cosmopolitan city and not find tissues, toilet paper, aspirins locked down. Now, we can't keep this up. We know it. Now, let's be prepared. Should we be prepared? No, we don't have to say should. We should. Let's find out. Spirits, let's clear the States headed for civil war. All right. Let's take these cards. Hello, everyone. Now let's do a quick shuffle. And let's see, are we spirits? Strain themselves to, it will get better. Maybe there is no getting better. Maybe it's just a robot takes your job. You're being tracked with millions of cameras everywhere. You're getting to your car if you have a car, and your black box is telling you, put your seatbelt on. You did not go. Hi, I just had to reset my internet. Now, one thing we're talking about now, we was talking about the white race is being told that it's being replaced by everybody else. And in a way, listen, we're in a capitalistic country, as I just said. Now, what do we always look for? Something to sell and someone to buy it. And what is the wealthiest continent of all? Is it North America? Is it South America? Is it Asia? Or is it Africa? Africa, yes. The land of everything, of plenty, rare earth minerals. Didn't Elon Musk's family get rich and get an emerald mine over there? How many untapped resources are still there? So maybe it's just possible that this is just a psychological push to get Africa under America's belt. Think of it that way. However, the public is not being brainwashed or is being brainwashed into thinking that's no. You're being replaced, you're being outnumbered, outgunned, and everything else. But that is like poo-ha-ha. Poo-ha-ha. So now we're going to see. Let's see now. Will this country USA be geared towards civil war? Civil war this spring with the warm weather and the people can get out and have a day of just demonstrating and going, complaining and screaming and whatnots. In a way that's cathartic, but another way it is not the way. But let's see. Ooh, there's a lot of cards I put up here. All right, so let's see what we have here. First of all, we have the Three of Pentacles. That almost seems like an affirmation of the fact that it's quite possible that we could have a civil war in the United States this spring. The Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles. The next card we have is the Fool. In other words, the actions, just what I said, it's warm, you're outside, you're having fun, your cabin fever is over. You can be any role play that you can be enticed to play. Be out there and you can scream and shout and you can go, oh, wow, that felt good. So, in other words, we can say there's many roles to be played in this so-called spring revolt. And then here we have the Seven of Cups. Now, the Seven of Cups is a strange one. The Seven of Cups. There's a lot of things that you can yearn for, and there's a lot of things that could be had. But are you prepared to accept the fate of which cups, which direction you take? So there's indecision and there's also gain and consequences of that gain. And then we have the emperor. Now, this emperor could be the leader of a movement, the leader of the revolt. There's so much Donald Trump hate. It could either be Donald Trump or it could be his antithesis, his the greatest anti-Trump. Now, who is the greatest anti-Trump? Well, there are too many to count right now. Now, the next card we have is the Wheel of Fortune. Now, this is a strange one. If we're going to have civil war, we're not going to be fighting over gold pieces. No, we're not. We're going to be the lack of not having. Or it could be a class war, class in terms of like cash, those who have cash and those who don't have cash. It's possible. It's very, very possible that we could have some disturbances, even too with Trump being an associate member, agreeing with King Charles to be an associate member of the Commonwealth, and given the level of free speech, lack of speech, lack of expressing yourself in the UE, does that mean that this could be in terms of like what is being imposed on the people? No money, no food, no talk, no nothing, no dialogue, just a lot of moaning and groaning. That could be it. That could be it. That could very well be it. And this is something it'd be done in silence. In silence. We have the Two of Swords. Well, we have a lot of things happening here. And it looks like to me that this spring could very well be something that happens. The Three of Pentacles, high probability. We have the Fool. There's lots of parts to be played. There's lots of roles to be played, to assume. There's lots of positions. You could be on one side one day, and then if you get fired and you don't have anything in your refrigerator, you could be on the other side. At the same side, at the same corner, you could get a job, and your empty refrigerator is full. So there's many different sides. It's almost like a seesaw, depending on what side you happen to be at the time of the instigations. Then we have the Seven of Cups. Oh, that's that's yearning. That's many decisions to be made. What sign will be best for you? Is this where we're going to have individual choice? With the Seven of Cups? Possible. Now the next thing we have is the Emperor. There's going to be one polarizing figure. Now, this obviously, the Emperor feels like, because it has a bit of orange on it perhaps, the orange kitty, the orange and white kitty, this could be Donald Trump, King Trump, Donald J. Trump, President Trump. Or this could, of course, be his opposition, the opposition growing against what's going on, the layoffs, the different departmental, the government workers, thousands and thousands and thousands, maybe like 2 million workers are going to be fired. And it's not only going to be in the government, so you're going to have a lot of people on a limited, what do they call that? Unemployment. Rationings, food stamps, SNAP. Then the next thing we have is the Wheel of Fortune. Now, this Wheel of Fortune, again, depends on what side your fate lies, or what side you have positioned yourself, or what side are you feeling? And there's going to be the Two of Swords. There's not going to be an announcement of civil war. No, there'll just be eruptions. They'll call it, the media will call it whatever it wishes to call it, just to get attention. But are the true needs of the people ever going to be really met? That's the question this spring. Already people are like are simmering. You can feel it. Tempers are rising. And just because they allowed or legalized dope smoking, weed smoking, marijuana smoking, between the marijuana smoking, the meds, pharmaceutical meds, depression, antidepressant, anti-anxiety the illegal black market dopes, drugs that are going around, and of course the all-consuming beer, wine, and liquor, stronger liquor. This is a very and unemployment, and there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things going on. So I would say, yes, indeed, we have a precarious time ahead of us this spring. Very precarious. Now, will cooler heads? Of course, we heard the other day that Hyundai is investing several $billion in steel and car manufacturing in this country. Now, that's not going to happen overnight. No. And besides, we do know that Korean car company is in line with the values of Trump's other members, his tech brigade, his Peter Thiel, his Elon Musk, because in South Korea, Hyundai is known for more than just making Kia and other types of vehicles. It's known as the all-in-one. It's the company store. It's from the time you rise, pay up. From the time you eat, pay up. From the time you wash, pay up. To the time you finish your toils and you sleep, pay up. It's a constant 24/7, 60 seconds per minute times hours. Times, what is it, 160 hours a day, 180 hours a week? Surveillance. So where does that take you? How many people are going to be rushing out to buy new cars? How many people have the funds to go out and buy new cars? How many people have the will to want to be tracked by their cars? These are all the questions that should be put to the people, and the people should be, these are the angst of the people. The people want to know, what are they getting for their showtime? Dope? Booze? That's not enough. Are we getting a direction? Are we getting intelligence? Are we getting who's in our skies? Who's running the show? Are we getting Epstein's or Diddy's list more than just putting Ghislaine Maxwell in prison? Now, she was one of the people, but there are many, many, many others. And where are we going as a country? These are all the questions the civilians, the masses want to know and need to know. And again, what do we get? Silence, distraction. So again, we can ask ourselves, it seems as though we are headed for some kind of tumultuous turbulence, and it will intensify as the warmer weather continues. And as the cuts deepen, the promises become more and more hollow. And we go, oh, we're doing better. As you go into the department store, as you fill up the gas station, as you buy this and buy that, are we doing better? Or is it just stage one of something bigger that we don't like to say, the R word, the recession? These are all the elements of fuel for what do we get? What are we getting? Are we getting what we voted for? Are we getting what we desire? We desire unity, peace, and love and harmony among all peoples. For some, but for everyone. Now that's a song, isn't it? Not just for some, but for everyone. Everyone. So we ask, enough of the role play, and let's get down to the basics. But will they listen? Will action be taken other than to berate us and tell what people have been getting away with for years, those who live in mansions and those against those who live in cardboard boxes? We can do better. However, before we can do better, we must endure the chaotic thinking, and we must find a solution. But will we find it in time? That's the question. And according to the spirits, we will have to have civil war in the spring in the United States. The way it's headed right now, it's more than likely. All right. I'm going to end it on that note. And until the next time, let's explore more. So let's just take a deep breath and get ready for some chaotic scenes. They're coming. Oh, and if you want to hear more about the state of what we're living, consider giving me a thumbs up. We will explore this matter more and more and more, especially since we're like diving so much into civilizations once they had their peak and then their fall. We're not ready to fall yet, are we? That's a question. Any comments? Please add. Until the next time. Bye bye.